From 2016. I have moved to a good home. I leave behind the ice house. Dan Andrews would rather I lived with an ice addict, and that you should too. For some, at the moment, the sex party has more credibility. From 2015. Double standards, once accepted, spread. It is impossible to be both just and to have a double standard. It might not appear much, but historically that has been the case. Accepting the double standard of the Ottoman Turks persecuting Armenians was wrong, as was accepting Russia or Germany persecuting Jews. Accepting Jihadis' persecution of anyone is wrong too, and the cost in each instance was very high. Double standards highlight the disparity between the two policies of harm minimization and zero tolerance. Harm minimization is favored by the left. In terms of illegal drugs, harm minimization means users go untreated. But the left characterize it as a meaning that those on the lower rungs of the trade are not punished for the activity of those higher up, trading in misery. But the obvious reality is harm minimization means drug users go untreated. Zero tolerance means that drug users are treated and supply is restricted. It means innocent people are less likely to be involved with drugs. The left characterize it as drug users facing jail, which wouldn't be effective. But the obvious reality is that zero tolerance is very effective. Harm minimization is a double standard, and sometimes when the double standards are exposed, then bad things happen. For example, the executions in Indonesia recently and the executions which go on daily around the world in Saudi Arabia, China and Iran, in which the rule of law is suspect. Miranda Devine details the double standard of a woman kissing Prince Harry against his consent, and the outcry had a young man attempted that with an actress. I am well aware of the double standard on rape, and how my parents treated mine by their friend when I was a child, and how the Royal Commission treats rapes in its handling of institutional responses. Apparently, the Royal Commission can pick and choose, depending on the exposure of the ALP or the Catholic Church. Is the community happy with that standard? In 1849, at the Astor Opera House in Manhattan, a riot broke out over who was the better actor, Edwin Forrest, a burly, booming, dramatic actor who was US-born, or the UK-born, rugby-educated William Macready, whose Shakespeare characters were understated. The two were friendly rivals, but Forrest fans were willing to heckle and outrageously misbehave. After disrupting on the 7th a Macbeth performance of Macready, in which his Broadway theater was trashed, Macready was ready to go home, but wealthy New York peoples begged him to stay. The ensuing riots on the 10th resulted in local militia being called in, and the rioters got the soldiers to fire into the crowd. The following day, mothers went looking for the bodies of their children in street stalls. Sometimes children misbehave, but a mother's work is never done, and so a double standard ends, as it must, in injustice.